Now, making that practical for me requires some simple devices. I have one. It's an acronym. You may have seen it in a book or two. A.P.T.A.T. You can pronounce it A.P.T.A.T. Doesn't mean anything. I just find it easy to remember. And A.P.T.A.T for me, I've sat on this pew for this sanctuary is 21 years old. And I've sat there and in the old one and done A.P.T.A.T for 30 years. Well, I can't remember when the first time I thought it, maybe 25. And I do it, I did it 30 minutes ago. And I do it before every challenge to my life and faith. Something like this. So here's what A.P.T.A.T is. And then I'll work it through with this text. A.P.T.A.T. A, admit, Piper, you can do nothing. John 1, 15, 11. 15, 5. You can't do anything without God. Just admit it, say it to Him, say it to yourself, say it, I can't do anything. So you're walking into a situation and you say, can't do it. Can't do it. At least I can't do it with any spiritual effect. Second, A.P., pray. God help me. T, trust a specific, tailor-made, blood-bought promise. That's the key. Praying is key, but this is really at the heart of how God works. How the Holy Spirit, how the Word works. I'm after an explanation. What do you mean, Paul, when you say the Word is at work in them? The Word is at work in them. How does it work? And I'm saying right here that we trust a specific tailor-made promise. I'm going to give you 3 examples in a minute. A.P.T.A. Act. You got to act. You can't lie in bed waiting for God to act for you. You got to get up and go to work. You got a hard phone call to make? Dial the numbers with your fingers, your will, act. You got to do it. But you've just trusted. You just said you can't do it. You just cried out for help. You've just trusted a promise that He'll do it and help you do it. And now you're acting in reliance upon that coming true. That's walking by faith. That's what walking by faith is. You're acting, but you're acting in faith. You're leaning on another. It's the miracle of the Christian life. For some of you, this is total foreign language. You don't even know what I'm talking about because you're not saved yet. You don't have the Holy Spirit. And the last one, T, admit, pray, trust, act. And when you're all done, thank Him. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me again. I can't tell you how many times I've fallen on my face at the end of a passion in a hotel room saying, God, I don't know how I did that. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what that cost. Nobody knows what I was like when I was 15. Thank you. Go home after these services. Thank you. They came again. Look at you. You're sitting there. Thank you for this church.